So this is Abby sitting here with Dominic and Jeremy from Big Gigantic. Thanks guys for coming in.
Yeah. What up?
Cool.
So good to be here.
Amazing show last night.
Thank you.
So much fun. I mean, the house was packed and everyone had a ball. Yeah. So you guys at least a couple times said that it was new songs you were playing. So have you been working a lot on writing new material?
Yep, writing new music, working on a new album. So we're kind of testing some stuff out, kind of seeing how it goes. Kind of helps in the whole writing process. So yeah, played some new stuff, working on a new album, which we're shooting for the fall to release, and getting really excited about it.
Good.
Yeah.
Cool. So it's Memorial Day, so leading up to the fall, will you be spending a lot of time working on writing, or what's your tour schedule look like this summer?
A little bit of both. It's kind of like we have some stuff coming up this next month in June, and then we have a lot of July off to finish, and some of August, and then we kind of start touring again. I'll be finished. Yeah, I'll be finished with the album sometime around then. So then we'll be back out, and I won't be home for 3 years.
Next time.
Yep.
Cool. That's great. So, sitting in with Umphrey's last night.
Yeah.
What a ball. So tell us a little bit about that. How much warning do you get? Do you prep?
I was at dinner.
Yeah.
And yeah, right. And Brendan was like, "Do you want to come play?" Yeah, it was a couple hours before, but yeah, we've played together a few times, and Umphrey's is one of the best bands, in general. On top of they make me look so good. Thank you guys.
Nice.
Seriously, they're they're so inviting to play with, and it's so easy to play with them, and it was too much fun. I was nervous because I haven't played with them in a while, and I just get just from playing sometimes I get nervous, and so from within 10 seconds I was up there playing, I completely forgot about where I was, because they're so, like I said, inviting when you come and play with them, and it's just so easy to play with them. They're just right there with you doing whatever, and I love playing with those guys.
Yeah, they're really an ensemble. They are all there to make each other
they know what's good.
Yeah. That's amazing. Cool. So let's talk a little bit about influences. So you guys are working on new music. What do you listen to when you're just listening for fun, and how does that build into creating arrangements?
You're arranging.
Well, I think I try to listen to as much different stuff as possible, to give us our own sound, kind of thing. So I try to mix, and those things range from anything to, all shit on the radio, all the pop, rap, all that stuff, all the way to, I just like to listen to more classical music and jazz music and different stuff, so in funk and stuff like that. So listen to more stuff like that, and I think that a lot of the process is keep open as minded as you can with everything, and then when I'll hear some there's just some 2-note piano thing that repeats, and it's jazz song. I'm like, oh, that's a great idea. And then earlier I was listening to I don't know, what, Skrillex or something, and it's oh, that line, but with the chords from that, it's Skrillex song. But you kind of draw. That's how you can draw your ideas. And if you're open minded, then your stuff is gonna really come across different. It's not gonna be you're not just trying to make that. You're kind of bringing a lot of elements in together to then therefore make something that is makes sense for us and what we're doing musically. I don't know if that makes sense.
That absolutely makes sense. So actually, let me do a different question then. So then as you're putting together a running order for a show, like last night, open air venue, big house, tonight you guys are playing late night in the Red Barn, how does that affect the sort of choices you would make depending on the venue?
The venue? Not so much the venue.
Yeah?
Maybe little things, oh, let's do this to open up the night, because it's just beautiful and epic or something, something like that maybe. But I think in terms of what I want the musical direction, I don't think it has too much to do with the thing with the festivals is we'll only get a certain amount of time, and when we do a club show, we can play for as long as we want. 2 hours.
Right.
So here's you have an hour and 15 minutes, so you're kind of this, you can kind of cram everything in. So in that sense, a festival versus a club date, I'm more mixing arrangements together with this half of this song and half of this song, and so people can hear the tunes, but hear a lot of music.
Yeah.
And it's fun to kind of juggle all that stuff anyways.
Cool.
Jeremy's really good at just following everything and really making it all
Jeremy, so let's get you talking.
Yeah.
How did you guys meet up? What's your backstory?
We met in Colorado like 7 or so years ago.
Mm-hmm.
We've both been like playing music around there in different bands, and yeah, we kind of met through the Colorado music scene, and then we ended up living together at one point and just kind of doing like jazz gigs and funk gigs and stuff like that. And then Dom literally like got a computer and he got a laptop and started making beats, and it just like it's progressed so much from that, and he's become a great producer and just crushing it. And yeah, like in the beginning he'd been making some tunes. We weren't living together at the time, but he'd been making tunes and was like, like we should do this thing where you play over it and we can improvise and solo and kind of do the things that we were doing in other bands, but bring it to the electronic kind of DJ-ish format. And he's like, I'm gonna work on the music, and I was like, cool, I'll work on all the other shit and figure out how we're going here and get over there.
That's what made it work.
Handling our business. It's kind of, we like fell into these roles very naturally and just would both work separately and then come together, with the show or whatever, and bring it all in. And
absolutely.
So cool.
Now we're here.
Now you're here. Well, thanks for being here. Summer camp adores you guys.
Yeah, we love being here.
We love being here for
such a fun time. So thanks for last night. We'll see you tonight in the Red Barn.
See you tonight in the Red Barn.
And hopefully catch you. So everyone keep an eye. Looks like this fall maybe we'll have some new music. And thanks again.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it. It's nice talking to you.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.